commercials out.
Burger King had a commercial
Against
and had small hands in it?
Against McDonald's. Like, it was like, what are you eating? And it was like, oh, my hands can only fit around this. And then that's when they were coming.
My hands can only fit around.
Watch. Let me show you, watch.
Find that.
So funny.
Find that and show him.
There it is.
Let's see here.
Burger King small hands.
Small hands. I gotta
see
find his damn Skype here.
They came out with 4 of them. 5 actually. They came out with 4. For
There's Eric. Weird.
I think Jiggy needs a commercial.
I need a commercial. I do. I need a
Get
commercial.
on it. Let's go to Access and film one.
Let's get it going. We'll go down there and get.
Serious.
We'll go down and get those production standards held up high so I can. Small hands. Where's his fucking? Let's see here.
What the fuck?
I got these tiny hands.
You never seen these commercials before?
I don't watch television.
These are super funny. These came out a while ago, bro. Like, when did this
let's see here.
These came out.
Where is his deal?
A minute ago, but yeah, I remember those. That was so funny. One of my favorite.
Okay, I've got to do some digging.
Hey, nah, they just made his hands fine as well. They probably digitally edited and just totally.
Well, yeah.
Hands like this. It was shrinking.
Okay, let's do
it was
this.
just whoever thought about that, whoever came up with that idea is funny.
Let me dig here.
They could do anything with digital stuff.
Oh, me. That's why when you get on social media, you can.
Okay, he's got
That's right. I could Photoshop.
He's
anything.
not under small hands.
Photoshop too. So.
Take people in the photos.
He's under
photos.
Make it seem like
when we do our group photo, you'll see. I'm not even in the photo. And I Photoshop myself in.
Let me see here.
That's clean. Yeah, I know some really great photo, like real great graphic designers who do that Photoshop stuff.
Well, let's do this. We got Mr. Oso with us, a big star.
Yo, you know who it is.
What do you have coming up? You've got some shows coming up. In fact, you have one coming up here in Hutch.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hutch. We're finally out here, you know what I'm saying? Royals Banquet and Bar, you know, they actually mess with us now, so we're actually doing something out there this Thursday for all the Thursday, you know what I'm saying? Come out, turn up. That's
me and Nagy might have to be there.
That's the only day that they give us. They only give us Thursdays because they want to see prove yourself. But I mean,
that's not a bad night. Better than Monday.
You're right. So we out here. We out here Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We go be out here in Hutch Thursday. Wichita.
Better than Monday.
I'm getting some stuff together for Wichita through the radio station, so that's why it's taking so long for me to get something out in Wichita, because I'm doing it the right way and going through the radio station and
look at that,
getting all that under my belt. So once we get that down, we'll be good. I think we're gonna do everything at the Abode venue, and then
that's cool.
Yeah. So Abode, they're messing with us, and then April College Fest. So everybody that's in Kansas.
College Fest.
Hey,
tell me about College Fest.
College Fest. If you don't know about College Fest, you're missing out, man. College Fest. That is the biggest party in Kansas besides Fake Patties, because Fake Patties is the #1 college party in the United States. So you can't top that at the moment. But
Nagy, do you know what Fake Patties is?
No. You know what
Explain Fake Patties to Mr. Michael Nagy.
You're going with me. You're going with me. This Fake Patties is just a strip of bars, literally a strip of bars. If you're old enough to get into them, and they're open all day, like the weekend. As soon as Friday starts, Friday, Saturday is like the whole go. It's just like St. Patrick's Day, but it's just a whole.
So why's it
weekend.
called fake?
Because it's fake. It's the week. Okay, because it's the week before St. Patrick's.
It's the week before St. Patrick's Day. It's Fake Patties Day.
It's Fake Patties Day. So it's like just because it's usually right before spring break. So everybody usually leaves and go on for spring break. So it's like you do it and then spring break is
where in the world?
So I bet these bars do some specials and promotions.
So it's like they have like a whole bunch of specials, promotions going on, and then like there's a lot of house parties going on. So for the people, because it's a whole entire 2 days.
They do that here in Hutch?
Yeah, at K-State.
K-State.
So
up in Manhattan.
Like Manhattan, it's a whole bar. You buy a green wristband, and you can get to all the bars that are light, that have green lights on them, or then you buy the purple one, and all the clubs have purple, or you buy both for like 20. And then you get there like a whole bunch of clubs.
Whole bunch of deals.
Sounds like a bunch of madness.
Nah, it is. And then by the time 5 o'clock comes around, It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people laying down.
Oh, there he
is.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole...
Fantastic.
Some parties in New York where you just start drinking like 9 a.m. when you wake up.
You don't even eat breakfast.
You go to your
You
drop.
don't even eat breakfast.
You just go to your drop.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think we've made contact.
You guys, hold on. Let me put in my headphones here. Get back in the cave.
Get back in the cave.
Okay, gotta go to the cave.
He's got to go to the cave.
Hello.
He's got to go to the he's got to go to his man cave, I think. And and I'll tell you, if an adult film star's man cave, good lord, what the hell does that look like? But we've got in studio, we've got Mr. Michael Nagy, the big star. He's like a blowfish in a twine factory. And then you've got Mr. Oso in the building. Star, stage, and screen, Mr. Oso.
Hey, you know what the deal is.
He's like a tarantula at a picnic, getting it going. We've got on Skype. We've got Small Hands.
What is up?
And I love that name, by the way. It's fantastic. He is like a blowfish at the wine factory. And he is getting it in. And we were telling Mr. Oso about how great you are earlier, and I said something about small hands, and he goes, "Why does this nigga got small hands?"
Yeah, why you got
so explain to us.
That's the way I was born.
Oh, really? Do you really have? If you really have small hands, then you know what I'm saying. No jokes aside, you know.
I mean, they're not like obscenely small, but they're on the small side. It was always hard for me playing guitar and shit growing up.
Understandable. Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah, we got. I just wanted to know. I didn't know if it was like for a reason, like you just felt like that was like your nickname, and then you just roll with it, or what. But.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when I did my first porn, I didn't even think about having a stage name, you know, and you have to fill out paperwork and stuff.
That is awesome.
And, you know, I just wrote Aaron. You know, my real name is Aaron. I just wrote Aaron on the page. And Joanna Angel, my wife, she's like, "Dude, you're an idiot. You have to like have a stage name." But like the director's yelling at me to hurry up. You know, like everyone's waiting on me. I'm like, and I didn't have time to think of anything cool. And every now and then she would make fun of me for having like small hands. So I just was like, it sounds like an old like 50s baseball player or like gangster or something. Sure, small hands up to the plate. Boom, done. And I also didn't think
boom, done.
I didn't think that you know, I would become such a thing. So I was like, who cares? Like, I'll do a porno every now and then. It'll be a fun like thing to tell my friends, but this isn't going to be like a full-on career.
So there's an adult entertainment business out here in Kansas? I didn't even
know that. Well, there kind of is, but it's kind of underground because they don't like. Oh
no, I was going to say that is.
It's not like it's not like
I got him. Like
it's not like Ali G says, "Do you like the porno?" They don't like the porno in Kansas. But
there's an underground black market in Kansas.
There's an underground black market in Kansas. Yes.
Anyone would know. Jay would know.
You're correct. If anyone would know, it would be Jay Birdwells, who has just joined us on Skype audio here.
I'm trying to be a caster. You feel me? I'm just trying to sit in a casting booth.
You want to be in a casting booth for an adult film?
I just want to say yes or no. Like, yeah, you can go. Only shorties only. Like, I need the visual of the shorty only. Like, okay, yeah, you look good enough to be on screen. You got it.
Well,
he wants to be like the Simon Cowell of porn.
I just want to give you the yes or the
Congratulations, you're going to the valley.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to be. Like, I'm just trying to.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to promote you and get your life set up straight. You know what I'm saying? Like. That's what I do. I'm a promoter, so I'm gonna make sure you good to go. I need that. I was just talking about this the other day too. Like,
so we have our good buddy Small Hands on Skype audio, and if you're watching us on the Facebook, we've put a picture up of him and the fabulous and talented Joanna Angel from I believe it looks like a recent Adult Video News Awards.
Oh, cool! Yeah, we just got back from those. It was in Vegas 2 weeks ago. It was fun.
Yes. I I want you to clear up some as they say in the podcasting universe, rumor and innuendo on the awesome. I'm glad we're on the same page there, my friend. Rumor.
So what do you want me to clear up?
Okay. I was at, of course, as everybody knows, I was at the 2017 AVNs, and I was at the 2016 AVNs. And apparently at the 2018 AVNs, it was a different vibe, and there were some, like, I guess some of these porn stars had security with them, because I guess some of these fans were a little bit handsy, and Ron Jeremy was banned from the proceedings and all sorts of things. Somebody said it just wasn't fun like it has been in years prior.
I mean, everyone's going to have their own experience with it. I had a great time. But I also, heard and, experienced all those things you mentioned.
Yes.
So I can't speak for anyone but my own self.
Yeah. Well,
okay. But I had a good time, and there's always been girls with bodyguards. That's not a new thing. The top girls always have them. You just can't always see them. I know who they are, though.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And so that's not new. And fans being handsy isn't new. Again, if this year that was more present, that's a real bummer, and that's kind of depressing. And it's obviously not cool or acceptable. But being a guy, I don't really get the brunt of that. That would be a question for a girl.
Yeah.
Because no offense, anyone can come up and fucking basically do whatever they want to me. I don't care. And also, just the guys don't get the same kind of attention that, like, in that handsy, grabby way that the girls do.
I'll remember that when Jiggy brings me.
Oh, come on, let's do this. Careful what you say.
Now, I understand that you and Joanna are getting ready to go on a book tour.
Yeah, well, Joanna's going on a book tour.
Oh, okay.
You're
holding down. You're gonna hold down the fort.
My dick is booked in LA for most of it, but I'm gonna fly out to a few dates for sure.
Hey, question.
Okay, go, Mr. Oso.
How does that work? Like, how do you do that? How do you get booked and you have a wife? Like, how does that life work?
How do I have a wife?
Yeah.
Well,
how do you have a wife?
How do you have a wife and a life? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you have a wife and a life? Like, you do what you do for your, you know what I'm saying? Does she just look at it as like that's your job, and then, like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know who my wife is?
Do you know who Joanna Angel is?
Nah.
She is like
she's like
the owner and proprietor of Burning Angel. She's like she's been
in the game for about 12 years, and I've been in porn for about 3. So she taught me everything, if anything. So it's real easy with us because she's the OG porn star.
She is as the great Ross Long would say, she's a tattooed perv magnet.
She kind of is credited for
Sounds like
being
a great
the
life.
first like heavily tattooed centerfold on the cover of Hustler. Her company kind of started the tattoo girl, like, all porn movement, all that shit. So basically all my credit in porn goes to her.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Now, are you guys going to be part of Exotica in Denver?
Maybe. Joanna kind of runs the schedule, and I don't always know what I'm doing, where I'm going or where I'm going to be. But we're at most of them, so I'd say it's a solid probably.
Okay, because it is like a 90%.
The plan is for us to be there.
For us to be at Exotica in Denver, so
we'll have to hang out if we're there for sure.
Now, Jay, and I'm gonna throw Jay under the bus once again here on the show today. Jay has become, I guess, obsessed with female porn stars here fairly recently.
Okay. It's a common affliction. We all get there from time to time.
It's totally understandable.
I've been obsessed with a few in my day. I married one of them.
So, Jay, explain your addiction, your newfound addiction here to our good buddy Small Hands, and let's get this out in the open now and figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh, I can talk about some, like the fact that I don't know. The Jiggy Jaguar show has just opened my eyes that they're intelligent and they're more than just toys. They're women. They're human. Yeah. I don't know.
He said, yeah.
But wait, I thought the Jiggy show changes lives. You hear that?
That's funny.
I thought you were obsessed with them, Jay.
There's some of them that look really, really good.
Well, isn't that the point? I mean, it would suck to be the one that you thought looked really, really bad.
Well, now, hubby said that if I ever do a movie or an actress job, that I can have a scene with a woman, but not with a man.
Hey, that's there's plenty of opportunities for that as well.
Yeah, do your thing, Shorty.
Do your thing, Shorty.
Just do you.
Now, so tell me a little bit about what's coming up for Burning Angel, because I know Joanna's got this book and is going on a book tour, and you guys never stop over there. You're constantly putting out product. So
I want to hear about the book.
Yes.
Yeah, so the book is called Night Shift, and it's really, really cool. And I'm not just saying it because I'm her husband. It's the first of its kind. It's a choose your own, and I can't say adventure. It's a choose your own journey, erotic novel about a girl who works in a seedy adult bookstore, like an overnight shift, and the adventures that happen, and it's crazy.
Wow. So this
Amazon
choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure porn.
I read a book like that, not necessarily about the porn.
Choose your. Have you ever heard of Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Yeah, they're
Nagy.
Cool.
Yeah,
they're fantastic, and
they're low key irritating though, because
they're low key irritating.
You read it and it'd be like, okay, go back to page 25 or go to page 306.
But then you gotta,
like what? Like I'm not understanding this. Then you do it again. It's like start back on page 1.
We have a different adventure.
Are you serious?
Or you could just read like one storyline and feel like you read a really thick ass book quickly because you only read like a third of it,
Yeah, definitely.
So it gives you a feeling of accomplishment.
Now, I am seeing, and this is probably going to get us into our discussion that we had earlier. We were discussing people posting on social media and all the various things. Well, according to the Burning Angel Twitter feed about 7 minutes ago, the world needs more French-made buns. Hashtag Sunday Bunday. Do you guys do your own posting, or is that all? Do you have things scheduled? How does this all work?
So anything that's Small Hands or Joanna is us doing it organically ourselves.
Okay.
The Burning Angel account is actually run by Joanna's assistant remotely, so you're talking to her if you're talking to Burning Angel. But we all kind of obviously like guide what the style is. She knows what we want out of it. But if you message Burning Angel, you're not messaging me or Joanna. You're messaging a mysterious third girl. But if you message me or Joanna directly on like our own Instagrams or Twitter, that is us.
That's awesome.
Well, we were wondering because Jay was teaching us about scheduled posting before, so we're wondering if that's something like most people do.
I mean, if you look like closely at porn stars, you can tell the ones that are kind of like robotically posted, like versus something that was thought out. So I don't know. I don't really do it because I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it, and also I like to fucking babble at the world. So I'm happy to organically post all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
But if it works, I guess if it's successful for some people, then cool.
Then it works.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We've got.
I'm not going to post about my windshield breaking 2 weeks from now when it just happened.
Like, hey, last week, 2 days ago, my windshield. Like, why are you telling us this now? Isn't it fixed? Like,
Well, yeah,
that's like the boxing match.
You got to have
the world doesn't get to see it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, bro.
Now, Joanna Angel is going to be going on a East Coast and West Coast tour to promote Night Shift, and you're booked in Los Angeles. You're going to be keeping busy.
Yeah, I'm on very busy dick duty.
So, the adult film business, is it? And I always kind of ask this when we go to the AVNs every year, but of course, obviously, for circumstances beyond our control, we couldn't be there this year. But is the business doing better now than it was 365 days ago, or in your opinion?
The answer is I don't know, and the answer is the business. What is that? I mean, porn isn't one business. It's like a bunch of like bands and record labels. Like everybody's, it's a bunch of things, So one person or one company may be doing well while another person's doing horribly terrible. So I don't know if porn is doing better this year or not. You'd have to ask everyone individually.
Okay. Well, so I guess I'll ask it this way: how is Burning Angel doing compared to 365 days ago? Good.
I mean, hey,
good or better or
in this climate, with porn being basically free, the fact that we're still here, we're still existing. Joanna still owns the company. Not no outside people do that. It's still us. And we can eat. My car is paid for. I can go to the grocery store. It's a Scion. It's not a Rolls Royce, but we're living, man. That's all I can say. We're all right.
It sounds like you're traveling too. So
yeah, and also it's not, as you can see, anyone who kind of follows me. We do so much stuff between books, or we own a whiskey company and a bar, and I'm traveling for this company or that.
Doing pretty damn good.
Because porn is free, you got to have multiple hustles. So even if porn's doing one way or another, we're always hustling on something. So that's just how we are.
It's fantastic. Now,
thank you.
You've got your small hands full.
Man, I need bigger hands. I need 2 more, and they need to be like real big. They need to be able to palm a basketball. That's like my one bucket list thing that'll never happen.
You want to be able to palm a basketball?
Yeah, well, I can't do it, and I've done, I guess, everything else in life. It's the only thing I've ever been able to do.
Now, Nagy, you have any questions for our buddy here?
Where are you bringing your East Coast tour? Because I'm from the East Coast.
Joanna's going to be in New York, in Baltimore. If you look at her Instagram, she has it all posted. But yeah, a couple of dates around there. But I know New York and Baltimore for sure.
Cool.
That's awesome. So now, what? And you don't have to get into the details on this if you don't want to. If there's an insider, I don't want to. Insider secrets being shared here about the porn business. But when you get booked for a shoot, and like you mentioned the thing about going out to Los Angeles, do these studios or people, do they pay for your travel and everything, or is it basically we'll pay you when you get here kind of thing? How does this all work?
It works, and this will probably help give you the kind of idea. Very similarly to the music industry, where if you're in a band and you're on tour, maybe some clubs, some promoters, some markets you do better in pay for a little bit more things. Maybe sometimes you drive 10 hours and you had to hoof it yourself. It's every shoot is its own kind of gig. So there are travel times where I get things paid for. There are travel times where I have to do it myself, and obviously that's up to me to decide if it's worth it, or not. So every gig is basically its own thing.
Okay.
And obviously the more big time and famous you are, I imagine people at the very, very tippy top getting a few more things paid for than others. But that again, it's pretty similar to the music biz.
That's cool.
So I have a question. As a photographer, how do I get into all this?
you live in the valley and you take a lot of pictures for free for a while, and then maybe someone decides you can slide in. I mean, basically, it's one of those things where there's about 10 photographers slots and about 10 million people who want to do it.
So you got to know people, right?
You got to know people, and you got to basically willing to work for almost nothing. There's not that much money in it. There's only about 3 or 4 photographers that I know of in porn that make a living off just doing photography for porn.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Oso, do you have any questions here, sir? You're Mr. iHeartRadio. You got the whole thing going.
Like I said, I know a few people. I've grown up. I know a few people that do it.
Yeah.
This one girl, her sister really is in the industry. Like the whole full-fledged 9 yards, the whole everything. Like I just wanna know when like you guys have like the certain scenes. Like you guys have like the scenes where it's like at somebody's house. Is that like somebody's house for real, or is that just like the producer's house?
Or like a studio?
Yeah.
No, because some of
how does that work?
Like some of the shit, it'd be like, oh, we're humping in the backyard, and I'm like, bro, that house is too nice.
It varies.
I mean, that as fuck. Like that shit
like,
clean.
It really, again, that's like the company and the directors. I've shot in like straight up studios where they've shot, CSI and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've shot in houses that the homeowner lives there and they rent it out. I've shot in just houses that are basically just sets, no one lives there, and people just rent it for shooting. So it's really all over the board, and it kind of just depends on, again, budget, director, whatever their vision is. But it's kind of like all over the place, really.
And then another question of mine: how do you guys make money? Because like a lot of the like sites are free now.
Yeah, because everything seems to be free.
Yeah, because I remember like.
Well, that's the performers make money same way bands and musicians do, gig. So you get hired per gig. So you get hired to do a movie on February 12th. You do the scene, and 90% of the time you walk home with a check.
So it's just right.
So really, it's the companies and the studios that are having trouble
keeping
making a profit off their product. The performers actually are doing.
So
kind of because there's a guarantee,
Yeah, and as a performer, like there's other things that come. There's other incentives that come from that, like
Right. So you get paid to do a movie, which is sweet, and that you get that paycheck. But then that movie comes out, and you probably get some more followers out of it. Your name gets bigger out of it, and then maybe you can parlay that into things.
Definitely, yeah. Because I'm like, how do they even make the money? Because everything is just so free. Like
that's what I was wondering: is the pay been cut or cut down from what it was, or?
I mean, I've only been in porn for like 3 years, so I've heard about the glory days, when there was just so much money in it. But that was kind of like in the DVD era. Again, same thing with the music biz. When CDs took a dip, so did DVDs, and so it all followed the same pattern.
Yeah, it's all entertainment is entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So from what I hear, back in the day, it was like ball and
money everywhere.
Yeah, back in the day, because you really had to buy buy the volumes. Like shit came out in volumes.
And before the free stuff on the internet, like if you rolled into like a adult store, I remember DVDs being like $39.99 and shit, and that's a lot of money for one DVD. And if you're moving units like that,
yeah, you'll get money, especially and then you got your people that watch it, and then it's like volume 1, and then as soon as they see volume 2's coming out.
Yep. But since it's not like that anymore, again, for the on the performing end, when I go out and do a movie, it's great because I know exactly what I'm getting paid ahead of time, and I know I'm going to get it no matter what. And if anything, I sometimes feel for the directors and the studios because I'm like, yo, who pays for this? How am I still getting hired?
How are you getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm always fine, and then I come home and because Joanna, my wife, owns the company, I hear on the other end like, holy shit, this is tough. We got to get people to sign up and do memberships, and so I have kind of a unique 360 perspective.
Definitely.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty dope. Just knowing people in different, like different aspects of life and stuff. I didn't think that I would ever, meet somebody as big as you guys doing what you guys do. But that's pretty cool, bro. Like
now, the AVN Awards. To kind of recap here, just going through some of the stuff that I see here. You guys won a few awards. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you guys picked up at the AVNs.
Yeah, we won. What did we win? I won Best Supporting Actor. We also won, me and Joanna together, Best Lewd Proposition Movie for our movie called Babysitter Auditions. And,
Best Lewd Proposition Film.
Basically,
what in the world?
Like layman's terms is tricking people into having sex. So the movie is...
What?
If you guys also, this movie is a really weird, like, John Waters like comedy. So if you like really funny movies about me and my wife holding auditions for babysitters when we don't even have a kid and then we end up boning the babysitter, it's a great movie. So every scene is a threesome with us and a young, like, kind of teen-looking girl, and every scene is sort of like a Saturday Night Live, like Portlandia, like sketch comedy thing where we're like giving them a job interview, but then they finally realize that we don't even have a kid, and through the magic of porn, we bang.
That's great.
And then we also won Best Comedy of the Year, which is a huge award for Jews Love Black Cock.
Wow.
Yeah, great title too.
Comedy porn.
Title. Yeah.
Comedy porn.
Yeah, so
Jews love black cock.
Jews love black cock. Unfortunately, I was not in that because I'm not Jewish or black. But my wife is in it, and a ton of hot Jewish girls and very studly black men are in it, and it's a great movie, and it's really funny.
That's awesome. Now, you won a, I love this, Best Lewd Propositions Movie.
Yeah,
it's right there. It's fantastic.
Can't take it away from me.
That is fantastic. Well, you mentioned Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
What is the grading system on something like this?
Oh, for acting?
Yeah. What?
You have to ask the committee. It's just like the Oscars.
Oh, so you guys don't know. It's all. So when you get the nomination, it's like, well, okay, I guess I did something.
So you're
right.
just performing, and then.
Yeah, so it's literally just like the Oscars of porn. So around Thanksgiving time, I think, they announce the nominations, and it's just a committee-based thing. And, they go up, and I go, oh, cool, look, there's my name and a couple things. And then in January, at the awards show, they announce the winners, and that's, when you know if you actually got a trophy or not.
Now, just as an aside here, and I'm looking at these awards here, and I see, Clever Title of the Year, Best Web Director, all these things. And then I get to Director of the Year, Greg Lansky, and I'm like, doesn't he win every year? Should they just name the award after him?
He did not win this year. He lost to Bree Mills this year.
Ah, okay.
The movie that I won Best Supporting Actor for was her movie, which also won Movie of the Year and Drama of the Year. So that movie we really cleaned up.
Look at that.
How do you get Best Supporting Actor?
They just nominate you, and all of a sudden you're there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like as a how.
There's
obviously you have to be. There's what they call features, which is pornos with like full-on scripts that are like real movies. Yeah, and then there's porno that is called gonzo, which is just fucking. No setup, no bullshit. So you have to be a guy who can, memorize lines like a real actor and be able to act. So that's how you win an acting award.
Yeah, that's hard work.
No, that is. I'm doing too much.
And some guys in the business are just machines with fucking, but they can't remember lines of their life. So they're and there's nothing wrong with that. They're just going to be cast in movies where either they don't have any lines or
it's basically and I always do this. I don't know why I do this on this show, but I always boil things down to professional wrestling. Essentially, if you're in porn and you can't memorize a line, but you can work, it's essentially in wrestling if you can't cut a promo, but you're a good worker.
Well, it's kind of like the requirement to do porn is not acting. It's if you're a dude, you have to be able to have your dick hard and fuck, and if you're a girl, the version of that. But if you can also act in addition to that, you're going to get more roles, and then you're going to, expand your sort of like fan base and repertoire, and then be in the running for these types of awards. But it doesn't mean like it's like a requirement,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how and this might sound like a this might sound like a personal question, but how the hell did you end up meeting Joanna Angel? How did what was the you two first meeting story?
She was a client of mine before I ever met her in real life. I owned a graphic design and printing company in San Diego, where I'm from.
Okay, San Diego.
We got another San Diego.
That's where I'm from. I'm from San Diego.
Oh, wait, what part?
National City. Like I'm from 47th. I live in 47th, and like.
Dude, I was born in North Park, and I grew up in Chula Vista, right by Tijuana border.
Hey, okay. Hey,
like neighbors.
Hey, on me. No, we've been in the same.
Did you ever go to FanMart back in the day?
That's where I live at. That's my store. Huh?
Yeah, I used to get all my old like hats embroidered there and shit.
Yeah, from the Asian guys and stuff there. On me, yeah, they still there. Hey, I'm going back home next month. So yeah, tap in.
I try to get down there as much as I can still.
Hey, next time you go, I'm going, but just let them know I'm just not here for business. You feel me? I'm just
nice. Well, hit me up when you
like, I don't want nobody to think like, hey,
when this is over, I'm gonna get you his Twitter and you guys get together.
Yeah. I want the personal Twitter, so you feel me? I'm able to talk to you and stuff. Like I do a lot of marketing stuff too, so I can I can help you out with some stuff.
Yeah. Let's link up on Twitter after this for sure.
So basically, you were doing graphic design, and she was paying for graphic design from you.
She sold on her website, like all the shirts and stickers and posters and shit. And I was a fan. I knew who she was. And then at some point, a mutual friend of mine that I grew up with in like the punk rock music scene in San Diego, he became a male porn star for a few years, and Joanna would hire him. And so he was kind of our link, and he set us up on like a date, basically. It was like, oh, I think you guys would really hit it off. You all should hang out. And our first date was supposed to be July 4th, but I pussied out and got too drunk at a barbecue and couldn't drive to LA because I was too nervous to meet her. And then the next day I was like, oh man, I fucked that up. I gotta make this right. So I drove up to LA, took her out to brunch, and that was it. We've been together ever since.
They say the best relationship.
Wow.
The best relationships start with a third person party. So.
It was just one of those things where we both had gotten out of relationships, and he was like, man, I think you guys could really work. And again, we didn't like meet over some like big porn event or a party or what. We just went out to lunch, and we ended up talking for like 5 hours, just hanging out. And I was like, oh man, this is the girl.
Yeah, regular. You just got to know her. Like, you got to know her.
Yeah, I just got to know her as like the real Joanna.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get to see the side that nobody gets to see. Yeah, that's always a good thing.
And what was so cool was I was already a fan of the persona, and then I was like, oh, and you're like fucking funny and smart and like good music. And
she honestly, when we've had her on Skype a few times on the show, and I met her a couple years at the porn awards at the AVNs. She honestly is too nice to be in porn. She's too sweet and too nice to be dealing with all the shenanigans that you guys have to put up with.
It takes a special type, and she's got that magic sauce.
Now, Jay, do you have any questions for our buddy Small Hands while we've got him here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
I hella forgot.
Oh, geez, I've been asking questions for the last half hour and nobody heard me.
Nope, we didn't hear you.
We didn't hear anything.
We didn't hear nothing.
I didn't hear not a word.
Well, one of my questions... I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I wasn't ignoring you. I didn't hear you at all.
Yeah, nobody heard you. Go ahead.
The witty big mouth broad is silenced. My question was you were talking about, I'm sorry to backtrack, but you were talking about how everything's free. Is there companies that like invest or like pay for commercials, or how does that work?
Well, just like music, there's some websites, like Spotify and stuff that you sign up and you pay a monthly fee for. There is porn websites that, you pay like $9.99 a month or whatever, and then you get access to everything and, HD this and blah, blah, blah. So the last remaining kind of way to get people to pay for things is either to have a subscription-based website. But again, that's kind of hard. It's a hard sell when everything's on, like RedTube for free, a click away. Or another way that they do it is sometimes people will like make it they'll sell you like the movie itself, like per download, like for like $4 you can download the whole movie right here, you know, HD on your hard drive, just like you could download a song off iTunes, you know.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah, so it's kind of tricky, and like I sorry to keep bringing everything back to the music business.
No.
That's when I was in before porn. I played in bands and stuff, so there's so many parallels in the business models that you know, just like music, and you got to kind of like find the money in porn now, you know, and it doesn't mean it's totally gone. It's just you got to work harder.
By the way, you bring up an excellent point, and it's something me and Nagy were discussing yesterday when we were in Wichita. Being from the music business, you might be able to explain this a little bit better. Nagy, repeat your Godsmack story to Small Hands.
Oh, we were kids, and we waited to meet him outside the venue, and we had CDs we brought, and we were like, "Can you sign these?" And he's like, "Well, did you buy them at the venue?" And we're like, "No, we got these years ago." And he refused to sign them because we didn't buy them at the venue, and then he slammed the tour bus door on us.
And I was explaining to them the whole thing about, and I don't know, it's probably changed, and maybe it's worse now, but I remember talking to a few different musicians back in the day, and they said that, well, yeah, there's all these CDs, but they only make like a quarter off every CD, but it's better if they sell the CD at the event, because when they sell it for $20, at the end of the night, in this situation, Godsmack made all that $20 instead of a quarter.
Well, yeah, because you're cutting out the distro and the middleman and everything it takes to get it into a store. So I get it. I mean, it sounds like the guy was still being kind of a dick. But
yeah, because as a fan, you just don't see it. Fans don't really see it that way.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever an excuse to not be nice to a fan for any reason. So on that level, I think he failed. But I understand, like, kind of where he was coming from.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because when you're at that level, you know, I can understand the lower artists being so concerned about.
It's like, dude, you're in Godsmack and you're playing a sold-out arena. Like, you're not hurting for dough. Just sign the kid's CD. Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
and so another deal, and I guess we'll kind of compare this back to the music industry, I guess. I was talking with someone from Sony, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and they mentioned to me that record labels are not like they used to be. They made the comment to me that a lot of these, that they were like, we used to buy houses and things for Motley Crue and everybody in the 80s. Well, we don't do that shit anymore. He's like, we can help you get on, you know, these big stages, and we can get your CD in Best Buy. But that's all we're doing. Is that how the porn industry is now, from at least your perspective, where it's like, yeah, we can get you booked, but, you know.
I mean, the one area where I think the porn industry and the music industry differ is, even if you're a beginning porn girl, when you walk on a set, you know what you are getting paid, and you get paid that day. Whereas if you're a baby band, you might be slugging it out for years on the road for free, or paying to be on a tour, or whatever. And so I don't think it's quite the same. Where, like, if you get booked for a scene, you get booked, you do it, you get paid, and you go home. Whatever happens after that, you know, if you get, like, is a bonus, like if you get fans or more exposure. But it's kind of just like you're just independent contractor. You did your job for the day, you got paid, and you go home. Whereas in a band, you're kind of like, you do a lot of things for free, or for, like, you know, you almost nothing, to just sort of like for this goal down at the end of the road, you know. So it's a little different. So porn doesn't really owe anything to the performers once they go home, as long as they got paid and, you know, everything was safe and everything was cool, you know.
So can you negotiate pay depending on what the scene's going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, just every performer is their own band. So everyone has different rates. Everyone sets those rates themselves with whatever they think they are worth. And then, you know, you either get booked or you don't. And then you either adjust your rate or you don't. And that, yeah, so the individual has all the power of that in this industry.
And the other people have power to say, that's too high.
Well, that's how this works. So it's just a business deal. You know, someone will say, "Hey, are you available on this day? And what's your rate?" And you'll say, "Yes, I am, and it's this." And they'll say, "Cool, book it." Or they'll say, "Oh, that's too high. We'll get you on the next one, or when we have a bigger budget, or whatever." You know.
So that's why I can't get booked, because I gotta have like travel.
That's why she can't get booked. She reminds me of the guy from that Beyond the Mat, where he's telling Terry Funk, Terry's like, "Are you gonna come out to the show?" And he goes, "Unless I'm booked, I'm not coming to the show." Now,
I got my travel fees paid for.
What's that? Sorry.
Travel fees.
I gotta have my travel fees paid for.
I usually I usually get them paid for. I mean, at least the flight and.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're rolling out the roads for you, but
flight is the big expense.
I'm pretty sure every time I've flown out to shoot, I think they've paid for the flight. I can't remember.
That's 100%. Awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you making as much time as you have for us. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
It's always a good time chatting with you, and I guess hopefully we will see you at Exotica if you guys are there. If not, I know
in Denver, right?
Yes, at the Denver one.
There's Exotica in New Jersey too at the end of the year.
I want to book.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you all the books, and again, if anyone wants to go on Amazon right now, it's Night Shift by Joanna Angel. Make sure you do not buy the Night Shift by Stephen King, because that's
completely different deal.
Yeah. But and just thanks everybody for hanging. I appreciate you guys. It's always fun kicking it with y'all.
Definitely.
Hey, you have a great day.
You have yourself a great day, my friend. We'll talk soon.
And holler at me about San Diego.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
We go connect right now.
Cool.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Peace.
Appreciate it, man. There he goes. And the big Star Station screen, Small Hands. Small hands, baby. Hey. And let's do this. Let's wrap things up here. Let's get back in here with
Jay, you still there?
I'm calling her. The Mario music is calling her. We're gonna call her here. I love the Mario music. My thanks to Small Hands, by the way, for being with us, for Burning Angel.